Okay, this is a question on proportion. You are told that y varies, y is inversely proportional to the cube of x, and the difference in the values of y when x equals b and x equal 1.5 is 19. Find the value of y when x equals to 1.5b. This is b, and this is b. It's not 6, it's b, okay? Now, do not panic when you see this kind of question. It's actually very simple. You take one step at a time. Y varies, y is inversely proportional to the cube of x. So inversely proportional means k is here, then it's not just x, okay? Please don't make this mistake. It is the cube of x. Alright, so it's x cubed. Now be very careful. You can be given questions like square of x, cube of x, square root of x, cube root of x. Okay, so you got to read the question carefully and underline the keywords. So these are all the keywords. Now that you've gotten the equation, you are ready to go on. Now, you see I've divided the page into two because there are two cases given to us. When x equals to b, and when x equals to 1.5b. Okay, this is b, this is b, not 6. Now, the difference between these two values, we don't know which one is bigger or which one is smaller until later. So, we just do as per normal, okay? You sub x equals to b into this equation. That means replace the x by b, okay? And remember to put your bracket when you replace, otherwise you will make mistake. Brackets are very important. Okay, so let's look at the left hand side first. Okay, so you substitute this here, the b, okay, so it's just b cube, this is straightforward. Alright, that's all for when x equals to b. Now when x equals to 1.5b, then you need to be very careful. Okay, that's what I mean. You got to put the brackets here because you're not only going to cube the b, you're going to cube the 1.5. Okay, and you have to remember, just like the example I showed you earlier, there is actually a 1 here, and this k, this 1k is at the numerator. The 1.5 cube is at the denominator. So when you press your calculator, this is what you need to press. Okay, turn on the calculator, you press this fraction icon, and you press 1 over 1.5b. Okay, you don't just press 1.5, you don't just press 1.5 cube, you press 1 over 1.5 cube. Why? Because 1.5 cube is at the denominator, 1 is at the numerator, so you have to press exactly what you see here. Okay, now let's go to the calculator. I press 1 divided by, we can put bracket 1.5 to the power of 3, and the calculator will tell you that this 1 divided by this is 8 over 27. So let the calculator do the work for you. Okay, now you have these two answers already. It may look very strange or complicated to you, but you can just think of this as A. Okay, this whole thing can be A, but don't write A. This whole thing is just like 1A. Okay, one of this thing, and this is 8 over 27 of this thing. If you think of it as A, or you think of it as an apple or what, or durian or whatever. Okay, so it's just one apple or whatever. K over b cube is the same as k over b cube, right? And can you see that this y is 8 over 27 of this apple, whereas this y is 1 of this apple. So which is bigger? This one whole is of course bigger than this 8 over 27, right? Okay, so what I need to do now is, because they tell me that the difference between the y values, this is the y value, this is the y value, difference between these two values is 19. So difference is 19. That means I take the bigger one, one whole, minus the smaller one. 8 over 27 the apple. 1 apple minus 8 over 27 the apple equals 19. That's what they tell us, you see. Again, it looks complicated, but don't worry. This is like 1a minus 8 over 27a. So press calculator again. Calculator is very useful. Take 1. Where's 1? 1 minus 8 over 27, right? 8 over 27. Let's press 8 over 27. 8 over 27. And the calculator will tell you that the answer is, oh sorry, error. Wait, let me press again. 1 minus 8 over 27. Yeah, 8. 1 minus 8 over 27. Okay, then you press. It tells me 19 over 27. Oh, that means it's 19 over 27 of this apple. Alright, now we'll come to this part where it's a little bit tricky. You see, the whole idea is you need to find out what is k, right? Remember, we always need to find out what is k. Then you can put back into this equation and then find the y. Okay, so this question is difficult because there's a lot of algebra involved. Okay, but you do it step by step, be quite easy. I'm going to use a different color pen to show you how to get this answer. Okay, we are now here, right? I want to find k only, so I'm going to use a red pen. I do not want this 19 to be here. I do not want 27. I do not want b cubed. I do not want all these three things. Okay, so they have to be removed. Now, how do I do that? If I don't want 19, I divide by 19, right? If I divide by 19 here, I have to divide by 19 here. Whatever I do on the left, do on the right. So that it will cancel out, okay? Do I want 27? I do want, so I times 27 here. 27 divided by 27, no more 27. If I times 27 here, I must also times 27 here. Okay? Now, do I want the b cube? I don't want. So I times the b cube at the numerator. B cube divided by b cube, no more b cube. But if I multiply by b cube here, I must do the same here. Alright? So, I now have only k on the left hand side. So my k is equals to 19 over 19 is simply 1. So k is 27b cubed. Alright? Oh, which means that we have found the k that we need. Normally it's in terms of numbers, right? It can be like 5 or 4 or whatever, or 100 or 10. But this question is a little bit difficult, so it's in terms of algebra. But if you think of this algebra as a number, then it's just this k, you replace with this. Remember, we always need to put down what the value of k is when we solve the question. So this is just 27b cubed. Okay, b cubed. Alright. Okay, and when x equals to 1.8b, why 1.8b? Because the question wants us to find the value of y. Find this y when x is 1.8b. So you put this 1.8 here, and you must not put like that. It's not like that. It's not like that. This is wrong. Okay, because it's whole thing. The x is cubed, right? X is 1.8 cubed. So you need to cube both the b and the 1.8. So this part is very important. Only when you write with the bracket, then it's correct. So please write your bracket. Now let's come back to here. This is your original equation, but you already found that k is 27b cubed. So you write 27b cubed here. Okay, don't worry about the b cubed, you'll be gone later. Now x cubed is 1.8b cubed. Again, just now I said this is wrong, right? Cannot write that. Because the x is 1.8, and you are going to cube the whole x, right? That means you're going to cube the whole of 1.8b. Okay, so remember this. Okay, now how do I work this out? It will be 27b cubed over 1.8. Okay, when it's multiplied together, inside is multiplied together, it's just 1.8 cubed times b cubed. That means you cube this and you cube this separately. It can be done because it's a multiplication inside. Okay. Now how do I continue? The happy thing is that b cubed over b cubed is 1. So you can cancel this off. Now how do I evaluate this? Again, please use the calculator. Don't try to use mental. Okay, this is 27 over 1.8 cube. Press the calculator. It tells you 127 or 125 over 27. Okay, I change this to a mixed number. So it's 470 over 27. So this is your answer. Okay, that's all for this question.